Hey everyone, and thank you so much for joining us once again for another one in Shenanigans. Today, we are going to be racking the Raspberry Peach Mead. Now, if you haven't seen anything else, or if you haven't watched any of the other videos, this is the very first wine we tried to make. We screwed it up. We followed the instructions, what we thought were the instructions. We made a mistake. It ruined the batch. We still had most of the secondary steps contents left, like the fining agents, which helps to clear the wine, the flavor packet, everything else we still had. So we just went to H-E-B, a local grocery store, and bought some grape juice. Just 6 gallons of grape juice. I got a couple funny stares. So today we are going to be putting this down into here. I'm thinking you can see it. I'm pretty sure I saw it. Everything on here has been sanitized. My hands, the tabletop, all the tools. We even get to work with a power tool today, so that's going to be fun. Aside from that, let's get started. So you want to be very careful when opening this, because the entire time that it has been in here, it's been fermenting. Yeast has been growing, dying, eating all the sugars, or converting sugars, however you want to consider it. Let's go ahead and take this off first, so that way it doesn't splash back down into the wine. Just do it carefully. It doesn't want to come out. There it goes. And that's why I wanted to be careful. Now I do have a bottle of sanitizing solution over here, so I'm going to drop that in there, because we are going to be using that later as well. Alright. But yeah, you want to be very careful with this, because you don't want it to shake any of the stuff in the bottom as much as possible, because you want to avoid getting that sediment back into your wine. Now, first thing you do need to do, ooh, smells like red wine, holy cow. Okay, you want to take a gravity reading. Graduated cylinder. This is a turkey baster. Pretty sure there's more, advanced equipment for it. I have a wine thief, but this isn't deep enough to get enough for me to worry about, so I'm just going to use this. Ooh, it smells like a really good red wine too. And another step we are going to be taking today is degassing, which is where the power tools come into play. We're going to be degassing with what they call a degassing wand or spoon. A bunch of different terms for it. Alright, so we have our graduated cylinder filled with wine. Hydrometer. There is going to be another video I'm going to do pretty soon here, actually, maybe today even, on equipment, wine terms, all kinds of stuff. So if you don't know what it is, I'll explain it all to you in there. That way I don't have to keep going over it in every single video. I can just put a link to it. You can go watch that so you know what I'm talking about. Alright. Now, when you do this, you want to give it a little spin, because you want it to really get all the bubbles off of it. Bubbles are going to attach to it, raising it higher than it should. Gives you a false reading. So we want this to be below 0.996. Where is 1? Well, it is well below 0.996. Okay. That is about 0.994, so we're perfect. All right, so take your hydrometer out. I sterilized this. I'm going to go ahead and put this back in there. They say you're not supposed to, but it's my wine and I can do whatever I want with it. Alright. Now comes the fun part. This is good to go. This is all done. Does not need to ferment anymore. It's probably not going to. You get your racking cane. Auto siphon, racking cane, same thing. You're going to put this end down into your carboy. You're going to put this end into your wine. Now, great thing about this, it has a little cap right here, right? This cap gives you about 1/2 inch to 1 inch of space from the bottom to where it doesn't suck up that sediment into your auto siphon. Now, by clipping it on there, you can go ahead and just start your auto siphon, stick it in there, start pumping it a couple times, and there it goes. Now I'm just going to let it go ahead and sit down in there. It is going to suck up a little sediment, and that's okay. Because the next step that we're going to do is using our finding agents, which is going to clear it. Now this part is going to take a little while, several minutes possibly. I'm going to go ahead and skip this part or speed through it something, but I'll see y'all soon. Alright everyone, so it looks like we are about done. It's got about maybe half a gallon to go, and it's still going. Of course, some of that half gallon is going to be all the leaves and the sediment at the bottom. So we're just waiting a little bit longer, and it is almost done. I'm going to go ahead and start getting the packets untipped. Not using this today. That is the sound of it finishing. Alright, so pretty much done. Yeah, I really don't want to get any of that sediment down there, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it's finished. I'm going to go ahead and just let it clean itself out. Alright, and let's pull you out slowly. Right, I'm just letting all the rest of the grape juice, the wine, fall out of the tubing, so that way I can pull it out without dripping everywhere. Alright. I still dropped a couple drops. That's okay. Alright. I'm going to push this off to the side since it is no longer important. Alright. Because you have a kit, if you have a kit, it's going to give you exactly what you need. So, potassium metabisulfate. 6 grams, which sounds about right, about a gram per. Yeah, okay. So, 6 grams of potassium metabisulfate's in this packet. 5.5 grams of potassium sorbate is in this packet. We're going to be putting this in here. The reason for that, the metabisulfate is going to kill off any yeasts that are still living. At the same time, I think, at least to my understanding, there's still some yeast that's not going to die. The potassium sorbate is specifically for not allowing it to renew fermentation. It sterilizes the yeast so that they can't reproduce, halting any fermentation. Now, part of the reason we're doing that is because we're going to put it in here. We're still going to give it 2 more weeks before we say it's done. We're going to give it a couple days, I think, about 2 days. We're going to back sweeten it, put the flavor packet in, and then from there, we're still going to give it another like 12 days. And that's because we want to make sure that it's not fermenting at all. It's not doing anything crazy. We're going to let the clearing agents do its work, clear it up, and then from there, we're good. We're going to bottle. So I'm going to go ahead and add these in here real quick. Just tearing off the corner because I don't want to have to worry about trying to pour it in any specific way. And it looks like it's going to be a pain anyway, so. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. I did what I didn't want to do. My main concern is just getting the powder caked onto the side of the mouth, because I just pulled the siphon hose out. Didn't know if there was any like liquid left behind, so I didn't want to have to worry about it being like caked on there. All right, potassium sorbate going in. All right, so first packet's in. Now we are going to degass. So, degassing wand has been cleaned. We have a drill hooked up to it. It's very old, I know. You're going to stick this inside the mouth. And what you're going to do is you're going to change directions every 20-30 seconds. The reason for this is you really want to stir it up and agitate the liquid to release the carbon dioxide that's built up inside. So you're not going to hear me talking. I'm not going to try and talk over the drill. I don't know if there's any specific like best method for this, I'm gonna try and like just go up and down like this, so that way it can really get to all the liquid, really releasing all that carbon dioxide. Okay, here we go. Alright, so it specifies you're going to do this for about 2 to 4 minutes with a drill. If you're doing it by hand, you're going to be stirring it, and I'll show you the spoon in just a second, but you'll be stirring it yourself. Every 30 seconds you'd switch directions, and then you would sit there. Actually, not even 30 seconds. You could honestly switch whenever you wanted to. So you want to do it quite often because you want to agitate the bubbles. So if you're stirring one way, switch it back, and it like forces against the current, I guess. But yeah, so you're going to want to do that. And it says if you're doing it with a spoon, you're going to be doing it for about 10 minutes. Obviously, a power drill is going to be a lot faster at this than, say, a spoon. So, by hand. Okay. If you're using a spoon or your own personal degassing wand, this is what it is. This is the back part that actually sticks down inside. And it's more like a paddle because it can't fit a whole spoon in there. But that's what you would use if you were going to be doing it by hand. Now, I think we're pretty much done, but there is one other thing that we need, and that is, sorry. All right, it's called Kieselsol? I don't know. It's packet number 5. It's step 1 of a 2-step clearing agent. I might need to get scissors for this. All right, so I have cut this open. Now, I'm honestly not even sure what this is. I know it's a chemical that is used to help clear it out. It's a 2-step clearing agent. This, and then I want to say it's called chitosan or ketosan, something like that. That's the second step. That goes in tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this in, and then we are going to mix it. Alright, that is done. You know what? I'm going to use my spoon. Go ahead and sanitize it. Now, honestly, if you're sanitizing something, you should not be doing it right now. You should really be doing it before you start. Sanitizing equipment, especially, or I'm not going to say especially, specifically with Star San, what I've read is that it needs to be sitting in it for about 3 minutes in the sanitizer, or at least in contact with it, to really have the full desired effect. So I am not doing it properly, and I will be okay with that because this is my wine. But just stir in the packet, the contents of that package. And this is how you would degas by hand. Just stir, 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 stir. Change directions. That's all you would do. It's still kicking up a little bubbles, but it's not a lot, so I'm pretty sure I degassed it enough. Alright, the very last step. We are going to let it rest. Putting your airlock, and you're done. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. As soon as I find the cork for it. There we go. Alright, I have my bung. I have my airlock. I'm trying to find the rest of the pieces. Alright, so for the airlock, I am filling it with sanitizing solution for a number of reasons. Sanitizing solution, if it gets in there, it's not going to harm your product. Honestly, Star San is food safe. That's what it's for. At the same time, if any bugs get in, they won't be able to get into the product, which is mainly what we're doing this for. Also, it bubbles up when it's like almost like a suddy, like soap almost product. So what's going to happen is if it's still fermenting in a couple days, I'm going to know it. So I'm going to put this on there for now. We are going to let it sit and rest, and then what's going to end up happening is tomorrow I'm going to add the rest of the finding agent, and then I think the day after that is when I'm actually going to add the packet of flavoring. So right now this should be fine. It's not going to do anything right now. All I did was degas it. And then tomorrow, when the flavor packet's added, if it starts bubbling up again, then I know I have a problem, because that means fermentation started up again, and we do not want that. All right, this is supposed to be dried out. All right, that's not working. But we have our airlock in. We have our bung in. We have everything done. All right, so we've done everything here today, including drink my wine. It's very delicious. Okay, so this is going to sit for about 2 more weeks now. It's still the same concept as fermenting. You don't want to have it too cold, too hot. Different temperatures constantly changing are not going to... It's not going to have a huge effect on it, but it's not going to be anything good. Once you bottle it, you can keep it in a cool temperature. You do want to keep it out of sunlight. In the bucket, it's not a big concern because it doesn't take in direct sunlight, whereas in a glass jar it will. If you can't put it somewhere dark, wrap a little towel around it, a blanket, whatever you got. For the last one we actually had a little pink pug blanket wrapped around it. But yeah, as of right now, everything's good to go. I'm going to let it sit for about, 24 hours. Let's see, day 15. Oh, okay. So tomorrow we're going to add the flavor packet along with the second step of the clearing agent. So we're good. As of right now, we are done. I'm probably going to record the flavor packet being added just to throw it in here too. It's going to be tomorrow, but it's going to, whatever. Anyways, I'll be seeing y'all soon. If you have anything to say, any comments, tips, anything at all, leave it in the comments below. Follow us on Facebook so you can see constant updates about this stuff, what's going on with it, if it's fermenting, just different little things like that. We'll post updates there. Like and subscribe to the channel, and that way you can see us whenever you want. You can be notified when we post something new, and we would love to hear from you. So thanks again for joining us, and have a great day.